with the Cathedral of the Immaculate Conception in Kansas City, Missouri. Welcome to my Friday afternoon 4:30 live update on things happening at the Cathedral this weekend. As with the rest of the Catholic Church, we will be, and beyond other Christian denominations, we're celebrating Pentecost this coming weekend, the coming of the Holy Spirit upon the apostles, 50 days after the resurrection of Jesus, still commemorating the event today. We've had 50 days of Easter joy, and they reach their culmination this coming weekend. Come to hear special music and readings, a beautiful, beautiful weekend, I think, for all. Many Catholics like to wear red when they come to Mass on Pentecost. There is no requirement, but if you're not and you look around the church and see a lot of red and wonder, why didn't anybody tell you? Well, I'll tell you. That is, it's a kind of a grassroots custom that has come up. I, of course, will be wearing red, as will the deacons, because that's the vestment color for Pentecost. We have a couple of special celebrations Sunday morning. We're welcoming Andrew McCrae into the full communion of the Catholic Church at the 9 o'clock Mass. I've known Andrew for a long time. 2 pastorates ago, I was at St. Munchin in Cameron, Missouri, and their beautiful little mission community in Maysville, St. Aloysius Church. I spent 11 years there, did some prison ministry. I just really enjoyed my time at meeting some incredibly wonderful people. And Andrew's family is certainly in that category. His wife has been Catholic all her life. They have 2 lovely children, and Andrew has been supporting their Catholic practice and education. In fact, he's even been helping other children prepare for their first confession and first communion. So this past Easter, he had a kind of revelation that maybe it was time for him as well. So I visited with his pastor, and because we're his cathedral as well, we're welcoming him this weekend at 9 o'clock. I think you'll enjoy meeting him and his family, and I know you'll give him a great welcome. At 11 o'clock, we're expecting Aaron French and Ann Langworthy to present their daughter, Vivienne French, for baptism. Always an exciting moment in the life of a family and our community. For me, it's very inspiring to see people take this step, publicly declaring their faith, joining the church, and joining the responsibilities of Pentecost, where we accept this duty to receive the gifts of the Holy Spirit and share them with others that we meet. So we'll have some great examples of that happening in our community at these special celebrations on Sunday morning. Tomorrow morning, just before we launch into Pentecost, there are a couple of events I'd like you to know about. Our women's spirituality group will be meeting at the Catholic Center for their gathering this month. And at the Cathedral, we have the ordination of Deacon Mark Famuliner to the priesthood. So by the end of tomorrow morning, if nothing goes wrong, he will be Father Mark Famuliner, and he'll be working at St. Therese Parish up north of the river. As with many of our seminaries, all of our seminaries, they're very inspiring young men, and I'm really excited for Deacon Mark that he's able to make this step. We had a rehearsal this morning at the Cathedral, so we think it'll all be smooth sailing and should be great. If anybody wants to come, you're certainly welcome. We'll have a large crowd, but I'm sure there will be room inside, but not in the parking lot. So everybody keeps wondering, when is the parking lot going to be closed off for the construction? And I keep saying any day now. The last word is that the rectory office building will be coming down sometime next week. So I hope by the time I do this live stream for you next Friday, we should see the demo begun on the rectory office building. That's what I'm told. And then once it's done, the school building needs a little more work in terms of asbestos abatement and the preparations, shutting off utilities and so on. When that's ready to go, it will come down as well. I understand that that's going to have the bigger impact on our parking. Right now, we only have 16 parking spaces, but of course, the way you park on the weekends, you'll put 30 cars in there. But even that is going to be gone, but probably not for another 2 or 3 weeks, so I'm told. But these goalposts move from week to week. In terms of the fundraising, again, my thanks, profound thanks to all of you who've been contributing to the Building Glory Capital campaign. You've gotten us very, very far. The budget that the bishop approved is at 14.4 million. And honestly, it's probably going to cost a little bit more than that to do everything we want. There have been some construction delays and price hikes. Bishop's keeping an eye on that. We're also keeping an eye on the fundraising together. We have almost 13 million pledged, and we still think that some others will be anxious to contribute to this project once they hear about it and the great possibilities that it offers, not just for Cathedral Parish, but for our diocese and, in fact, the whole downtown community. Morning Glory Ministries had a very successful launch a couple of weeks ago at its new location at the Catholic Center. If you haven't dropped by yet, I think you'd really be inspired to see how your contributions toward Morning Glory are providing a very dignified place for us to receive the homeless and to welcome them for a meal. You want to volunteer, you can do that. If you want to just come some morning, Monday to Friday, between 7 and 8, and eat with some people. Breakfast is free. Just come on in, pull up a chair next to some of the folks you might see on the corners downtown with a sign asking for some help. You have a chance here to sit and talk with them, learn a little bit more about their story, and see what they've been going through. I think it could be a great opportunity for sharing mutual compassion and understanding. Deacon Steve's study of the Bible's timeline continues Tuesday online, and speaking, and then following Tuesday it'll be in person and online again, but this week just online. I should mention that Saturday, be sure I get the day right. Yes, like tomorrow is the anniversary of Deacon Steve's ordination to the diaconate. He was ordained a deacon on the 27th of May in the year 2006. My math is really horrible, but I think that means he is 17 years a deacon tomorrow. So congratulations to you, Deacon Steve, and thank you for your continued service among us. Candidates for adult confirmation and for joining the Catholic Church will also have gatherings next week. If you fall into either of those categories and want to be part of that, that would be just great. So know that you can contact Michelle to sign up for any of those. And then finally, I'd like you to know that I'm giving you a concert on Tuesday night in the Cathedral, 7 o'clock. It is free. There will be a free will offering for the John Paul II Catholic Worker Farm, managed by two of our most recent parishioners, Spencer Hess and Emily Larner, who are also most recently engaged. And the program is music by Georg Philipp Telemann. I have a personal connection to one of the pieces on the story, or in the one of the pieces on the program, because of the story of how it was played some years ago by a great Catholic figure in the United States. So I'll tell you more about that in the concert on Tuesday night, but I'd be happy to share with you this story of how Dorothy Day connects to a member of my family by means of a piece we're going to play on Tuesday night. She connects in some other ways as well, but this was one that was news to me just a couple of years ago, and I've been anxious to make it available for you to hear, and for me to give some honor to the Catholic worker movement and to some of the people in my extended family. Oh, who's coming? Michael Gordon, the principal flutist of the Kansas City Symphony, and 4 more string players from the symphony. The music sounds gorgeous in the cathedral. This is the program we were planning to do in March, but due to an illness, we had to postpone it. And finally, 2 months later, we found a date when all the musicians could come back together. We hope it's a date that you have open and that you can come and enjoy. Program will probably be hour and a quarter, something like that, not really long. Michael's going to play a few solo pieces, and the rest of us will do ensemble work, all by Telemann, a contemporary of Johann Sebastian Bach. I'll be playing harpsichord with the group. It promises to be lovely. If you haven't seen the little video clip that Michael and I did, you can find that on the homepage of our website too. I think that's it. Let me double check the calendar, make sure I'm not overlooking something, which often I do. Think everything else looks good up till I see you all again here on Friday of next week. Monday is the holiday. Our parish office will be closed, and I hope you enjoy a day of relaxation and enjoyment. Thanks to all those who have served our country this Memorial Day weekend. We are especially mindful of those who gave their lives as a sacrifice for our country. And we can celebrate a weekend like this and the relaxation of the summer because of the sacrifice of others. I'll be talking a little about that in my homily this weekend for Pentecost, and I look forward to connecting with you then. A blessed weekend. Thanks for